So for the trust system then. Hang on.
Gotta get ready for this gripping bit of content.
Yeah, sometimes the old water going down the wrong hole.
I'll do you justice and move the camera away while you choke into the abyss.
Well, there's the air
He's
cleared.
good. He's good.
Okay, of course, we're aware of the possibility of expanding the usage of the trust system. For example, we could look back at previous dungeons which are not yet supported. That could be interesting. I won't be giving away any details in the media tour because it will be a spoiler, but when you play through the game and use the trust system, there will be one scene where you can really appreciate the advancement, the evolution that we've been able to generate in the trust system.
Interesting.
So what do you think that means?
I have no idea. Honestly, the only thing I can think of is maybe there's a dungeon that has a forced use of the trust system, or maybe it's a duty where you'll use the trust system to have allies fighting, and it'll be like the best ally fight they've had, and maybe I would imagine it's something like maybe even you're not allowed to be in the fight, maybe you've been taken out of the fight for some reason, and it's just your party of your the NPCs that you care about actually fighting in a really cool looking way. Maybe.
So a question I have, because I haven't reached the part of the game where the trust system comes in yet. So, imagine if World of Warcraft had its dungeons integrated into the story in the way that FF has got some of its trials integrated into the story.
Yeah.
But then WoW was able to use its AI NPCs effectively like the trust system.
Yeah.
Could that lead to a World of Warcraft narrative that's more engaging with the high points significantly being cooler? Is that what they use it for here? Because I haven't reached that part of the game yet.
So they don't actually use it for that. They don't have it. It's literally basically, I don't know what their full intent was, but the way people use it is just, queue times, or you don't want to join the party because you're maybe just one of those anxious people who doesn't want to fuck up a dungeon and would rather have a stress-free version for your first time. Then you can just trust, which is bring in your NPCs. They're not very good, but they will get the job done.
People would like that for WoW Dungeons. I don't know how possible it would be for WoW Dungeons, but people would really like that because anxiety is a big issue in World of Warcraft, and the social dynamics of WoW where somebody fucks up a Mythic Plus dungeon and now everyone's angry because your fuck up has actually cost everyone else a bunch of time because they'll need to earn back the key progress they lose because the game punches you in the friggin' genitals all the time.
Yeah, so I think that's what I'm hoping they're doing. I'm hoping they're doing something like, and here is a very specific strong use of it that we're enforcing, or maybe it's a special unique cutscene, because they do have unique dialogue and stuff for when you take certain party members through a dungeon, because the relevance of the story at that time. So they would do it. I imagine that'll go extremely well for World of Warcraft if they can introduce it.
Yeah, to give credit to the WoW team, I thought the AI NPCs were really cool, and I was really excited to see they were there. I was excited to see them be used more, and I'm disappointed they're not being used. So I support more uses of them. I mean, if it just WoW has for ages just had a bit of a stagnation in aspects of combat.
Yeah,
especially when you want things to maybe be dynamic, maybe some of the world content. Those AI NPCs could be a really good boon.
Yeah, so it's the kind of thing where it's just going to help immersion more than anything else, because you're doing this with the people you're supposed to be doing it with. There aren't just 3 people showing up, especially when you don't have control over who's showing up, and then you're like, okay, well, I'm gonna go into this really, really important, super big story moment. Gonna go into this dungeon. I'm gonna see what's in here. I'm gonna clear it. I'm gonna defeat the big bad at the end of it, and then someone in the full chocobo suit comes in. Or there's just a big naked Rogadin male, and you're like, you know what? This doesn't distract massively because I know this is gameplay and I can kind of separate it, but it is just having your party members there, especially when they're doing roles, because that's kind of one of the small reasons for job changes for NPCs is kind of to fit them into the trust system a little bit better in Shadowbringers, which is interesting. But yeah, it's very. It is so much potential. I'm really looking forward to seeing what they actually do with it, especially if he's saying it's a spoiler, because then it's probably going to be pretty cool.
Yeah, that's sweet. Next up, lesson for us all, Yoshi P eats his vegetables. Yep. So a popular Dutch newspaper got involved in the media tour, spoke to Yoshi P as well.
This is fun.
And this is the handy thing of having multilingual members in our free company. Mm-hmm. We've got some fun highlights from the Dutch press. That's ad.nl. One thing is the Island Sanctuary is inspired by a reality show in Japan where a boy band does gardening. With Yoshida saying, "It's been on TV for years and very popular. I follow it too."
Yeah, yeah. I really tried to find what they're talking about, but I couldn't. I couldn't find it because there's too many Japanese gardening YouTube channels, and they were completely destroying me trying to search for it.
Well, there's another thing. He admitted they've been trying to figure out how to add blitzball to the game, which is a mini game in FF10. It's basically water polo, but entirely underwater. But they're not sure how to proceed. Either as a full mini game or something more like team management. How does it play in FF10?
It's water polo.
There we go.
No, so
we found out.
Yeah, so it's kind of it's a mixture of both. You get to play the game, but also team management. And team management in the football manager sense, where you have to go and hire players from teams, pay attention to contracts, grab your players, give them certain skills, give them positions, level them up, and then play in different tournaments. But it is just a very, very simple get the ball, move around, learn the trick where you can just is it brother, I think, is the one that swims faster than everyone else, so you can choose it. But basically it is just a little small mini game of water polo, which kind of feels a little bit like basketballish.
Yeah, gotcha.
And
interesting.
I really would love to see it because it's a super interesting game, but I don't know if it would play extremely well on FF. I'm not quite sure about that. It may be fine, but either way, I hope they get to it because FF10 is a fantastic game.
Well, there's more good news because Yoshi P does appear to be trying to die slower.
It certainly does,
something would, I think to be recommended. But interestingly, Yoshi lore grows deeper. He has stopped doing all-nighters for work to avoid burnout, and he makes sure he eats his vegetables, even though he doesn't like them. I agree, big man.
Nope, not at all.
Now here's the problem, right? I don't know why salad is expensive. There's a salad place in Belfast called Freshly Chopped, where if it's like I need lunch and it cannot be something that will kill me, I will get the Asian mix, whatever the hell it's called, with the Asian chicken and some whatever the sauce is. Also comes some soy sauce. Very nice. However, it ends up being like £8. I'm like, I've just paid £8 for a salad. Now the benefit of the salad being chopped in that manner, because they chop the clean fuck out of it.
Hence the name.
Is that it means that all of the all of the flavors mixed together and it's very eatable. Instead of just kind of like stuffing in big leaves. So I've been trying to do that in order to, not become so insulin resistant that my liver explodes. I know the feeling. God damn. I mean, burgers are so tasty, but gotta stop.
Yeah, no, it pains me to have to deeply disagree with Yoshi P's taste, because otherwise he's pretty sound. Loves some great games, but no, vegetables are delicious. People who don't like them are big children. That's pretty. That's what I have to say.
Vegetables, more like pogstables.
Yep.
There we go. Rename them, make them hip, so people will eat them. That's how to do it.
Yeah, I mean,
veg is awesome.
Yeah, not to talk shit about burgers, but vegetables are also good.
Yeah, sauerkraut. Get yourself some goddamn sauerkraut. Pickled onions, sauerkraut. Man, you're gonna have a good time. See if you want a salad to like taste a bit better, throw some pickled onions in it. Yeah. It's seriously gonna be a big win. Oh man, Brogel and asparagus, big. Just whenever I do asparagus, it does involve. I mean, is it Marco Pierre White is the one that everybody takes the piss out of because he puts half a bottle of olive oil in everything he does. Yep. He probably puts olive oil in his coffee. But yeah, I just go fucking mad in the olive oil and then I throw all the Parmesan in. That said, oil. See those veg oils? Kill them. Get them out of there. See that margarine? Kill it. Get it out of there. Do the research. Anyway, enough of talking about dying slower. So sometimes, if you can't hack it, he calls in sick and goes snowboarding instead. Because of course, he's going to be doing the cool one.
Yeah. He's not staying home to play video games. He's like, no, I'm going to go relax. Snowboarding, let's go.
Yeah.